You may have heard people talk about brand guides or brand Bibles or visual guides. So, what are they, and are they even necessary for your business? So, we'll answer the second question first. Yes, they're absolutely necessary. And we'll get into that in just a minute on like why they're helpful and how they can really help, your marketing collateral and also even help internally. But first, what are they? They're really just a document that details particular elements of your brand, usually the visual style, so your logo, your colors, your fonts. They can also talk about things like the tone of the brand or the messaging. Um, those aren't as common, but for sure, they always document the visual elements of the brand. And once again, we're talking logos. So, how do you use the logo? When can it be used? Can you use different colors with the logo or not? Your color palette. So, what colors are you using? You're looking typically as well to document hex codes or CMYK codes. Those are different things that, even if you don't know what that is, a designer can help you get that information and put it in the document because other designers will know exactly what those are and how to use them. And then also your fonts. So, what fonts are you using? When do you use different fonts? Some brands have a different font for their headers versus their body text. And if so, when do you use those? What sizes? All of that gets documented into the brand guide. As you can probably start to guess on why that's important, is so that way when you get marketing collateral created, regardless of who is doing the design work, um, visually there should be some consistency between everything. So, some designers have their own visual styles and they might prefer different layouts on how they, tackle a design. But at the end of the day, if you hired three designers and you gave them your brand guide and you asked them to design the exact same thing, you should get something back that has consistency between all three designs. Same color, same fonts, same logo, and the logo is being used correctly. So that's what it's for. Another benefit, though, beyond just brand consistency, and we have other videos about brand consistency and why it's super important and why you can't be, kind of just really loose with your brand. You got to have really consistent visuals and tone with your brand, but that's for another video. So, brand consistency is a big part. The other thing that it does, which a lot of people don't think about, is internally it helps settle a lot of disputes. So, sometimes you may have in the company where one person likes a particular design and then someone else likes a design and they're arguing over whether it should be this color, that color, this font, or that font. The brand guide helps solve those problems. So, right, you have a document to go to and say, hey, it's already been agreed upon. It's these fonts, it's these colors. So that helps. Like I said, something a lot of people overlook, but it can be really helpful when it does happen. And the other thing it does is it aligns everyone in the business as well. So everyone knows what the expectations are when it comes to fonts to colors. And what that does is then internally, say someone's creating a document that only lives internally. It's just maybe a process documentation or something. In an ideal scenario, that document would still be created with the same color, fonts, and branding of everything else. And what that does is if you can keep that internal consistency, it bleeds out into the external consistency on what your clients and customers are seeing. So, helping to create alignment internally, it settles disputes, and then that leads to the overall consistency of the brand that pulls all the way through from the inside of the organization all the way to your customers and clients. So that's why they're super important. They're not hard to make. It can just be a simple Google Doc, a Word, Microsoft Word document. It doesn't have to be anything elaborate. You just need to be able to document information on which fonts to use, when to use them, same with colors and all that. If you have any questions or want to get some help on how to put one together, feel free to reach out to us. That's what we're here for. Is we're here to kind of give some guidance and help. Just let us know and we'll schedule a call. If you have any questions as well, you can always reach out to us on social media too. Have a great day, guys.